Hey, and welcome back to another episode of Glitter Mindset. I am your host, Aria Leighty. Thank you so much for being back here with me today. As always, I am so excited to be joining you. And I'm actually kind of geeking out because this episode ties into the last two episodes in a really fun way. And we love a full circle moment. We love to see it come together, even though it doesn't seem like they were similar topics. But episode 8 was about networking being the number one thing you should be doing as an entrepreneur. So if you have not listened to that one yet, I definitely recommend you pause and go hit that one up. And episode 9 was called Let's Get Messy. It was a vulnerable talk about where I'm at in my healing journey. And I brought up that I wasn't on social media for over a week as far as posting, not even in stories. I love me some stories. Like that is where I prefer to be over, posting on the grid. However, I didn't show up on social media that week. And if you follow me on Instagram, you may have already seen a post kind of outlining what I mean by that. But basically, what it comes down to is social media was designed to be, wait for it, social. Okay. Social media was an amazing tool that opened up new worlds for us. Like it has given us the opportunity to connect with people we would not have been able to connect with before. We were able to get into new rooms and, expand our network in such a beautiful way. And I have been networking since prior to social media. So I remember being limited to only like the local communities. It's a beautiful gift of technology and it is a wonderful tool if you use it the right way. So what did I do on social media to show up? I used it as a networking tool, which is what I've always looked at it as. Content creation is a nice little bonus, but creating real community and connections is where it's at. And I have always looked at Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and all of those platforms as networking tools. So what did I do? I engaged with my people's stories. I liked and commented on my people's posts. I answered questions people were needing help with in their stories, like, hey, how do you do this? Or what is the best mic to use? I sent genuine DMs to people that I hadn't heard from in a while, checking in, people that I know are going through like a little rough patch, and people that I know that have really big launches or big moves going on. Like just wanted to send them love, check in, see if they needed me to show up for them in any way. And I even sent some like funny memes or resources to people like, this made me think of you. Now, how is this impactful and why does this have better results than forcing myself to create content when I'm not feeling aligned with everything and I'm not feeling inspired or creative, right? Because nobody wins if I'm just creating out of a space of force rather than flow. Well, here's what it does, and here's how it ties into networking. Whenever we hear the word networking, we are thinking building and nurturing long-term, mutually beneficial relationships. When building a power network, it's important to show up for them, get to know them on a deeper level, and know them for more than just what they do, right? And also, it's important for you to be showing value to your network as an entrepreneur. So when we think about the things I teach when you are about to show up in a room, treat any social media spaces like a room. Facebook groups, LinkedIn posts, Instagram conversations. So here's how what I did and how I showed up is impactful. So by engaging with people's stories, I am reminding people of who I am and I'm getting in front of them. Instead of relying on an algorithm to show my post, because we all freaking know the algorithm sucks. So instead of relying on an outside algorithm and hope that they're going to see my post and remember me and know me, I'm going to get in front of them and remind them of me. I'm also getting to know what they're up to and seeing if there's a chance for me to show up for them with help or support or an introduction, because that's what I really want to be known for, right? Is to be a master connector, a master networker. So if I'm able to show up in that way, I'm going to make them remember me in that way. By responding to questions people are asking about algorithms or resources, I am showing up as an authority. I am a business mentor. So sharing my knowledge really helps me like stay in their mind, and it shows who I am, what I do, and what I know. I also want to share my knowledge as much as possible with my network, because even if it never ends up in a referral for me, I know that sharing what I know helps create a world of even more resourced entrepreneurs and kind of takes down this vibe of like gatekeeping information. So it creates a better environment for all of us when we are readily able to serve and show up in that way. Now, by sending DMs, I am nurturing the relationship and reminding my people I am thinking of them. And there is nothing worse than a connection that only contacts you when they need something from you, right? So, when is the last time that you have shown up for your contacts to just check in and have a genuine conversation? I believe in showing up generously. It is the number one way I have built my successful businesses and networks. Okay. And so, showing up in that way is being very generous with my time, being very generous with my knowledge, and also showcasing to them that I want this connection beyond just the one way that we work together or wanting to sell them something or anything like that. So, beyond that, I have been really examining social media and talking to lots of clients about the algorithms and watching the trends. And hearing the frustrations. And I put out a little story poll last week asking business owners and entrepreneurs how much time they spend creating content, how much time they spend consumed with the idea of needing to create content, and how they feel about needing to do it. And about 80 people answered all the way through. And most of the people said between 1 to 5 hours creating the content and 6 to 10 being consumed. So an additional 6 to 10 consumed by the idea of it, meaning they're either thinking about what they should post, beating themselves up about not posting, staring at a computer screen or a phone, trying to think of something, investing time and money into learning tips about algorithms and how to use the hashtags and all of that. So that is a lot of time, right? But when it came to how the business owners feel about creating content, they said they despise it or called it a necessary evil. So we're spending 1 to 5 hours creating, an additional 6 to 10 thinking about it, letting it consume our lives in our day to day, thinking that this is like the end all be all for how we're going to get clients or how we're going to push the needle forward in our business. And we don't even like it. Now, when it came to answering about networking, people answered that it was 0 or less than 5 hours, which I totally expected. But I asked, how important do you think networking is for your business? And they all rated 9 or 10 out of 10, which actually I didn't expect because I'm used to people undervaluing networking, which is why I'm constantly talking about why networking should be the number one thing. But I was shocked. So you guys know the value, but you're not doing it. But you are doing something that you absolutely hate, that doesn't align, and is you're letting it take over your energy. And a couple of the people said that they don't even post on social media. They don't create content. They spend the entire time just bringing guilt and shame and pressure into the conversation about needing to create content. So imagine if you took the hours that you are investing and letting the idea of content creation consume you. You took those hours and you took that energy and you took the mental capacity and you took all of that creative energy and you used it to network. Used it to build relationships that would have a longer lasting impact on your business than any piece of content would. And what if you took the hours that you were creating content that wasn't lighting you up, that didn't feel good for you, and used social media as a tool to bring people along in your brain, your business, and along on your journey? What if you just gave yourself permission to put some of this freaking stress off, to not make it so hard, and to approach it as a social tool? How would you use this if you were just thinking about it being social? You do not have to overthink the content side of things if you are not a natural content creator. Some people are born to be content creators. Some people are amazing at it. Some people are great salespeople, but that's not everybody. But everyone has a way to be authentically them and to be social and to create relationships. So not everything that you are putting out on social media has to be the super profound or super aesthetic or super branded content. If creating content has been hard, think of just taking baby steps into introducing yourself and, again, building relationships. So hear me out. If you relate to those people where you hate it, but you think it's a necessary evil, or you're one of those people who just aren't doing anything because you're just so paralyzed with the fear and, all of the other mind drama and noise that is going on about social media. So what if instead of lip syncing to a reel because you think you should, or dancing and pointing when it's not your thing, what if you do a few easy things to get conversations going and get your audience to know you? I personally find that stories are a great way to build relationships versus posts on Instagram. Also, posts on Facebook or LinkedIn have a better time to have like relationships and conversations rather than just the Instagram grid. True personal engagement and conversation starters happen for me in the stories. I don't use any other social media platforms right now. I use Twitter. It's really just to make cool tweets and post them onto Instagram. I haven't been on Facebook for years. I only use Instagram as far as like a connection. But apply this to whatever makes sense for you. Practice in a couple different areas and see what happens. But the first piece of building a relationship, no matter what platform you're using or what social media room you're about to walk into, is showing who you are. Show your personality. People want to get to know you. Okay. If you are going for a hot girl walk, take us with you. Show us what you're seeing on your walk. If you have a funny view, work view of like a cat on your desk or next to your computer, post a photo of it. Okay. If something funny happened to you, like you spilled your coffee, post a photo. These types of stories are great conversation starters. And I have seen a lot of experts say, no one cares about your kids and no one cares what you're eating or watching. And I say, fuck off with all of that. Okay. Your people care about that. Your people care about what you care about. And they'll say, well, pictures of food don't sell your products. Well, social media, A, isn't just about selling, and B, a great way to get people to want to be your clients or want to refer you is if they know what makes you tick and who you are as a human, right? Posting that you're watching Office for the 2000th time instead of watching something new. Like if you put that in your stories, I'm going to be like, okay, we are the same human, same. I don't want to watch nothing else. I try, but I always go back to my Office, right? Now I know that we have something else in common. That's one more seed planted that like you are a person that I want to know and work with and engage with. Okay. Just posting sales in your stories or on your posts or on your Facebook feed, it can't be the only strategy. And let me pause by saying there's nothing wrong with selling in your stories or on your posts. I love it. But if you are only posting sales, but haven't shown who you are, what makes you tick, what makes you different, or what makes your ideal person want to rock with you so freaking hard, you aren't going to sell as much anyways. So you might as well back up and start easing into relationship building, right? So more posts. Are you listening to a song on that hot girl walk? Post a screenshot of it. Like I have posted my playlist from walks before and people respond every time because it shows the type of person I am. I'm showing you a little flag of like what we might have in common or something that you are going to like be like, oh my God, that is crazy that you're listening to that, right? You can tell a lot about me. And if I'm listening to a throwback song or a song that people have a connection to, they can't help but tell you, right? Like, hell yeah, girl, knock if you buck, right? And now I've created a safe space for them to recognize it, see me as a human, and say, well, damn, she's just like me. Okay, she listens to Laffy Taffy on her beach walks. I feel good talking to her and she can relate to me. And now we have this like conversation starter, right? Post a meme that shows your unique humor. That is a great icebreaker. Everybody loves a joke. Everybody loves to respond to a joke. And then when they hit that laugh cry emoji, you can come back with a little piece of it, right? Pose an unpopular opinion that really gets people talking. And it doesn't have to be like a big one in your work or your industry just yet. It doesn't have to be one where that might freak people out where you're like, I'm not ready for that. But just post something kind of funny that's an unpopular opinion. Like if you are one of those people who are absolutely wrong and says that pineapple doesn't belong on pizza, post it with a poll asking who agrees with you. Like, trust me, I've had some funny but heated conversations this way, specifically about pineapple on pizza because it is bomb on pizza. Okay. Share a post that represents a cause that you believe in. Nothing is going to attract the people that you want to rock with and show who you are as a human being while absolutely repelling the people that you never want to do business with in the first place, than sharing a cause that means a lot to you or a stance on something that is going on in the world. You can share your friends' posts that are doing big things, hype them up, share brilliant pieces of content and tag them. Talk about a great relationship builder right there, an awesome social media karma, right? It's going to come back to you. Plus, a bonus, you're going to get in front of their audience too and potentially expand your network in that way. I always get new viewers when I do this. So it's also a great way to expand your network and potentially begin building relationships with some new people. Doesn't that seem easy? Doesn't that seem like, yes, I can do that? Or I am doing that and I am having these conversations. I'm rocking it at this. Why am I putting so much pressure on myself and saying that I need to be doing something different? There's a lot of talk on the internet and a lot of BS that has convinced a lot of people that they don't have something to say, but don't overthink it, okay? You will hear a lot of people say that all of the posts need to be directed towards your ideal client and solving their problems. And they'll have these different freaking courses on how you can make all the aesthetics and all of the different carousel posts. And yes, that is great advice for sales pages, sales posts, and email blasts. 1000%. But there is such value when you just post who you are, what you believe, and the truths behind your own individual story. The people that I'm inspired by the most are the ones that just show up raw and show up them, who share something that they're going through or like something funny that happened to them, or just hop on to share humor or like a little lighthearted quip, right? I love those people. And bonus for them, when it comes time to sell something that I need, or they have something that I think one of my clients need, I'm in because I know them because of them putting pineapple on their pizza and watching Office and drinking champagne and all of that. Build relationships, let people get to know you. And then we can move into the other pieces of it. But if social media is driving you crazy, get back to the social aspects of it. All right, so let's review. What are you going to do after this episode ends? You are going to take a deep breath and release all of the pressures and the bullshit and the noise surrounding social media and the algorithm game and all of that. Okay? We're going to take a few of the hours that you were wasting beating yourself up on content, and you're going to use that time to connect with people and network and build relationships and find events and rooms for you to go into, because that's going to be more impactful than anything. And then when you are getting on social media, you are going to use social media in a social way. And you're going to reach out to a few people, scroll through, see how you can show up for people generously, who you can share, who you can hype up. How can you show your knowledge by responding to somebody's request on, a Facebook group? And then you're going to post on Facebook, Instagram stories, TikTok, something, anywhere that you love, or all of them, and see what sticks. Something simple that shows your personality and begins a conversation with your ideal people. Okay. If you want to learn more about networking, building relationships, building a name for yourself, using social media in a social way, make sure to join the waitlist for Show Up to Go Up. Doors open 10/10. And I would love to keep this conversation going with you guys on Instagram. Shoot me a DM with your takeaways or any questions you have about this. Or if you did one of these things, I want to celebrate you. So go and tag me or DM me. I'm at Aria Leighty, and the podcast is at Glitter Mindset. Until next time, thank you for being here. And don't forget to leave a little review on iTunes if you are enjoying this bad boy. That will definitely help the show grow.